Chosen one, anchor your spirit to what I am about to reveal. The urge you feel to scroll past this message right now is not an accident. Resist it. I know exactly what the last 72 hours have felt like for you. You have been walking through your own home, feeling like a complete stranger, and the atmosphere around you is incredibly heavy. Waking at 3 in the morning with a crushing weight on your chest is exhausting. You cannot explain this feeling to anyone because they simply do not understand. You are not imagining it. What you are sensing in the spiritual realm is entirely real. Conversations seem to stop the moment you walk into the room. People are pulling away from you. They pull away for reasons that make absolutely zero sense to your logical mind. But you must understand that the enemy is working overtime against you for one reason. He knows exactly what shifts the moment you receive these powerful words. You did not find this video by accident. The algorithm did not bring you here today. God did. The Holy Spirit directed your steps because you have been begging for a breakthrough. This is a divine appointment scheduled before the foundations of the earth were even laid. In the next few minutes, I am going to reveal the exact reason heaven allowed this painful season. I will expose the specific lie that has been keeping you financially trapped. I will show you why your exhaustion is not a sign of failure, and at the very end, I will give you the specific declaration that seals everything heaven has prepared. Do not click away. Stay with my voice until the very last word, because if you leave before the end, you walk away from the very verdict heaven just issued for your life. Your breakthrough is hiding right here in these next few minutes. You have been working so incredibly hard for so many long years. You hustle every single day, and you pray without ceasing. You try to practice the law of attraction and visualize your dream life. But the immense wealth never seems to actually materialize for you. It leaves you feeling like you completely missed a hidden foundational chapter. You watch the elite 1% attract money and massive opportunities with zero apparent effort. Meanwhile, you are left drowning in bills and constant anxiety about your future. You feel the heavy burden of generational financial struggle pressing down on your tired shoulders. You carry a deep belief that you are meant for greatness and total abundance. You know that you were called to be the cycle breaker for your entire family line, but something invisible is forcefully blocking your path forward. You know deep down that the common advice to just work harder and get rich is a complete and utter lie. Before we dive any deeper into this truth, I want to plant a crucial seed. There is something completely hidden from the public right now. It is something discovered not in a motivational book, but inside a highly classified laboratory. It is a biological secret funded by elite billionaires and strictly verified by top-tier neuroscience. This secret finally explains something I know you have felt deep in your bones. It explains the frustrating gap between the wealth you constantly visualize and the reality you wake up to. You have felt like the financial deck was completely stacked against you from the very moment of your birth, and you were absolutely right to feel that way. I will reveal exactly what this hidden secret is before we finish our time today. But first, you must deeply understand why your natural wealth magnet was forcefully switched off. So I need you to hold this one specific question in your mind as we continue. What if your struggle to attract abundance is not a lack of hustle? What if your current financial reality is simply a dormant frequency waiting to be switched on? Hold on to that thought, because the answer is going to completely shatter everything you thought you knew about money. The world told you that your sensitivity and your quiet nature were a massive weakness. They told you to toughen up and work harder, but they were completely wrong about who you really are. You are a chosen vessel uniquely designed to carry a massive amount of kingdom wealth. The intense warfare you have been facing lately is not a sign of your weakness. It is the ultimate proof of the magnitude of your divine calling. So take a deep breath and let your spirit settle right now. You are completely exhausted. The constant hustle is draining the very life out of your tired soul. You wake up every single morning and immediately worry about how to pay the bills. And the heavy weight of providing for everyone around you never seems to lift from your shoulders. You give so much to others, but you receive so little in return. You feel like you are carrying a generational curse. Your parents struggled with money, their parents struggled before them, and now you are fighting the exact same exhausting financial battles. You desperately want to be the one who finally breaks this painful cycle. You want to leave a legacy of immense abundance for your beautiful children. But no matter how hard you work, you always end up right back where you started. You read the self-help books, you write down your daily affirmations, you try to manifest wealth with every ounce of your energy. Yet the universe seems to remain completely silent to your desperate pleas. It is enough to make anyone want to give up completely. I need you to hear me very clearly right now. Your lack of wealth is not your fault. Here is the brutal truth the elite do not want you to know. The reason the universe responds to the 1% and leaves you struggling is not about hard work. It is not because they visualize better than you do. And it certainly is not because they have stronger discipline. The true difference between you and the insanely wealthy is entirely biological. Deep inside your brain is a tiny region called the hippocampus. In the elite 1%, this specific region is thick and highly developed. It is constantly broadcasting a microscopic frequency that literally pulls money and lucrative opportunities toward them like a vacuum. But for the average person, the reality is much darker. Because you were not born into an 8-figure family, you inherited a biological disadvantage. Science calls it a shrunken hippocampus. Instead of broadcasting a powerful wealth frequency, your brain is trapped broadcasting a survival wave. And the modern world is designed to keep it exactly that way. Every time you stress over mounting debt, this tiny region shrinks a little bit more. Your natural God-given ability to attract abundance is pushed deeper and deeper into dormancy. This is exactly why you can practice the law of attraction for years with zero results. You are trying to manifest incredible wealth while your internal receiver is completely powered down. You end up chasing money endlessly. Meanwhile, the elite simply let massive wealth flow to them effortlessly. It is a biological block passed down from generation to generation. This invisible barrier has been quietly sabotaging your highest potential since the day you were born. Most people will go to their graves believing they just did not work hard enough. But you are not most people. You are a chosen one. And remember the question I asked you to hold just a few minutes ago. I asked, what if your struggle was just a dormant frequency waiting to be switched on? You are about to see that the answer is not only scientifically proven, it is closer to you right now than you could ever possibly imagine. The enemy wants you to believe you are permanently broken. He wants you to look at your empty bank account and feel a deep sense of shame. He knows that if you stay trapped in that survival wave, you will never fulfill your true kingdom assignment. Because a chosen one who is constantly worried about basic survival cannot focus on shifting the spiritual atmosphere. They want you tired. They want you distracted by endless bills and exhausting drama. That is why they keep the secret of the hippocampus completely hidden from the middle class. They pay highly skilled lawyers massive fortunes to ensure this biological cheat code remains a secret. If everyone knew how to turn off the survival wave, the entire system would collapse. You have been fighting an unfair battle your entire life. You thought your empathy and your deep sensitivity were causing your financial ruin. You believed that because you cared so much, the world simply took advantage of your good heart. But your beautiful heart was never the actual problem. The problem was a suppressed frequency you never even knew existed. I see the silent tears you cry when nobody else is watching. I know how badly you want to provide a beautiful life for the people you deeply love. You are tired of saying no to things that should be simple. You are exhausted from calculating every single penny before you spend it. This season of intense financial restriction has nearly broken your spirit. But heaven has explicitly heard your cries for help. The universe did not bring you to this exact moment to leave you completely empty-handed. Your season of struggling in the dark is coming to a rapid end. The veil is finally being lifted from your eyes today. What was once hidden in elite laboratories is now being placed directly into your willing hands. Do not let the enemy convince you that this is just another empty promise. You have felt a shift in the spiritual realm all week long. That strange restlessness in your soul was preparing you to receive this biological truth. Your spirit already recognized that something massive was coming your way. You are finally ready to step out of the survival wave. But let me reframe your entire reality right now. You have looked at your empty bank account and called it a punishment. You genuinely thought heaven was angry with you because nothing was working out. You believed your financial isolation was clear evidence of your disqualification. But you must understand that it was never a punishment. It was a divine preparation. God did not remove your resources to abandon you, but he allowed the crowd to fade so he could finally speak to you without interference. Your season of extreme financial restriction was actually a strict consecration. It was a crucible designed to burn away everything that was not meant for your next level. You had to learn how to trust the invisible before you could be trusted with the visible. And while you felt completely forgotten by the world, heaven was quietly forging an unbreakable spirit inside of you. Think about the story of Joseph for a moment. He carried a massive prophetic dream of absolute abundance and leadership. But before he ever reached the palace, he was thrown into a dark and isolated pit. He was stripped of his beautiful coat and sold into slavery by his own flesh and blood. He spent years locked in a foreign prison, while others prospered around him. His isolation looked exactly like a permanent failure to everyone else. His own brothers thought his grand dreams were completely dead. But Joseph was not being punished in that dark and lonely prison cell. He was being meticulously prepared to govern the wealth of an entire nation. Heaven had to build his character first, because sudden wealth without wisdom would have destroyed his divine destiny completely. If Joseph had received the wealth too early, it would have utterly crushed him. The same exact spiritual principle applies to your life right now. You are carrying a massive assignment that requires an unbreakable spirit. And that is the true reason this incredibly painful season happened. It was not to break you, but to build you into a master who can handle massive abundance. That is the first thing I promised to reveal to you at the very beginning of this message. Every single tear you shed in secret was collected by heaven. The enemy tried to use your poverty to make you bitter and resentful, but instead of destroying you, the intense pressure actually developed you. You survived what absolutely should have broken your mind and your spirit. Now the dark forces do not know what to do with you, because a chosen one who has conquered the spirit of lack is completely unstoppable in the spiritual realm. You no longer fear the bottom because you have already survived it. And once that profound truth clicks into place, everything instantly shifts. But here is where the narrative of your journey delves far deeper than most are willing to perceive. There is something underneath your isolation that goes much deeper than just character building. If you do not see this hidden root, it will keep operating beneath every single season of your life. Coming up in just a moment, I will expose this deeper layer. I will show you exactly what happens when your biological frequency finally aligns with your spiritual preparation. But first, this profound understanding must land deep in your spirit, settling like solid bedrock. You must fully release the false belief that you are simply unlucky or permanently cursed. You are a chosen vessel, standing on the very edge of magnificent glory. and the wealth that is coming to you is not meant for your comfort alone. It is meant to fund the kingdom assignment you were born to complete. God is about to place massive resources into the hands of those who remained faithful in the dark. You are about to become a major distribution center for heaven, but you cannot distribute what you do not first learn how to receive. You have to understand that your spiritual DNA is entirely different from the average person walking the street. The world operates on a broken system of exhausting hustle and constant manipulation. But you were built to operate on a pure frequency of divine rest and effortless attraction. You were never meant to scrape and claw your way to financial stability like the rest of the world. Your current lack is simply a symptom of a mismatched frequency. You have been trying to play a terrestrial game with a powerful celestial instrument, and that is exactly why nothing has worked for you up until this exact moment. The old methods of forced positive thinking were never going to work for someone with your specific calling. Heaven blocked those lesser methods from working so you would search for the deeper truth. You were never rejected by true abundance. You were simply redirected toward your true biological inheritance. Let that peaceful truth wash over your tired soul right now. You are exactly where you are supposed to be in this grand timeline. The heavy weight you have been carrying is about to be lifted off your shoulders completely. Prepare your heart to receive what is already moving toward you. Here is that deeper root I promised to expose to you. The spiritual preparation you endured was absolutely necessary for your soul to mature, but manifestation also requires a biological receiver to actually catch the blessing when it falls. You cannot attract massive abundance while your physical brain is trapped in a survival state, because those two frequencies actively repel each other. It is like trying to catch heavy rain with a completely closed umbrella. Your spirit is completely ready and willing to receive the massive wealth. But the severe trauma of your past has physically shrunk the part of your brain that processes abundance. This tiny physical region is the only bridge between the spiritual realm and your earthly reality. And right now, that vital bridge is completely powered down because of constant financial stress. This is exactly why you feel so incredibly stuck and exhausted every single day. You are pouring massive amounts of spiritual energy into a broken biological receiver. And this brings us to something most people miss entirely. Before we go any further, I have to share a breakthrough that changes everything. It is something the elite billionaires have spent vast fortunes to keep hidden from you. A rogue neuroscientist recently leaked a truly shocking and profound biological discovery. He formerly worked on highly classified CIA experiments regarding human potential and mind control. He and a brilliant team of top-tier researchers found a way to wake up that dormant wealth frequency. They discovered exactly how to rapidly reverse the devastating effects of a shrunken hippocampus. And they did not achieve this through decades of exhausting meditation or relentless journaling. They did not tell people to wake up at 4 in the morning to force a hustle mindset. They discovered something infinitely simpler and far more powerful than any of that forced labor. They found a precise and perfectly engineered 7-minute acoustic sound frequency. When listened to daily, this specific sound wave easily bypasses your conscious mind. It directly stimulates that tiny 250-million-year-old region of your brain. 4 independent neuroscience labs have already verified this incredible biological activation in their clinical studies. Researchers on the prestigious campuses of Harvard and Yale are observing it right now in real time. They found that once this specific frequency is heard by the human ear, everything changes permanently. It gently forces the brain to completely stop broadcasting the exhausting survival wave. And it immediately flips the switch on your natural biological ability to attract immense wealth. It is a completely effortless daily ritual you can easily do from the comfort of your own home. You just need 7 minutes a day to let the energetic shift begin to take hold. I will tell you exactly what this powerful frequency is called before this message ends. I will also show you exactly how you can access this specific tool for yourself. But first, there is one final piece of the puzzle you must deeply understand about your journey. Your biological receiver was simply tuned to the wrong station for your entire life. You were broadcasting a desperate signal of panic while praying for a reality of absolute peace. And the universe can only deliver what your physical brain is actively tuned to receive. But the moment that tiny region in your brain wakes up, the entire dynamic reverses instantly. People around you will start to wonder why you are suddenly so incredibly lucky. They will ask how you manage to attract such high-paying clients or sudden unexpected windfalls. They will not understand that your internal wealth magnet was simply turned back on. You were always a chosen vessel, but now your biological hardware finally matches your spiritual software. The universe is already aligning massive financial synchronicities in your favor right now. Doors that were firmly sealed for years are quietly loosening their hinges as we speak. Opportunities that felt impossibly far away are gently moving toward your immediate path. You are no longer chasing your breakthrough because it is actively finding its way directly to you. But here is where it gets truly confrontational for a chosen one like you. And once this profound truth clicks into place, you are ready for the very next layer. There is a deeper root that will keep operating if you refuse to acknowledge its silent presence. Coming up in just a moment, I am going to completely expose this hidden block. But first, let this reality settle. Because the thing quietly blocking your massive breakthrough is not the enemy anymore. The devil has already lost his grip on your financial destiny, and his time is completely up. The thing standing in your way is something inside you that you have mistaken for holy wisdom. Stay with me, because what I share next is the missing piece that breaks the cycle forever. But here is the part no one really wants to hear out loud today, and I say this with nothing but absolute love for your tired soul. The thing quietly blocking your massive financial breakthrough is actually your own deep fear. You are secretly terrified of what will happen if you finally step into your incredible power and become highly visible. You have spent your entire life dimming your brilliant light to keep other people completely comfortable. You subconsciously believe that massive wealth will somehow corrupt your pure heart. You think having money will make you selfish and arrogant, like the deeply broken people who hurt you in the past, so you unknowingly push massive abundance far away. You completely sabotage the exact blessings you pray for. This is not a cruel accusation against your wonderful character. It is the exact diagnosis that finally sets your spirit completely free. The survival wave convinced your physical brain that staying small was the only way to stay entirely safe. If you stay broke and invisible, nobody will ever ask you to save them from their own poor choices. If you remain hidden, the enemy cannot easily find you. You learned to hide your beautiful gifts because shining too brightly always made you a massive target. Every time you stepped into your spiritual power in the past, someone desperately tried to tear you down, so your biological brain created a powerful defense mechanism to strictly protect your highly sensitive heart from further damage. It decided that remaining poor was much safer than being incredibly rich. But staying small is no longer serving your divine assignment on this earth. The kingdom of heaven cannot fund a massive vision through a tightly closed fist. You cannot pour healing waters into others from an entirely empty cup. God actually needs you to be wildly successful so you can become a beacon of hope for a broken generation. He needs your storehouse to be completely overflowing with massive resources. Money in the hands of a wicked person is a dangerous tool for worldly destruction. But massive wealth in the hands of a chosen one is a powerful weapon for complete earthly restoration. It builds strong communities and it heals deep generational wounds that have plagued your family for decades. It feeds the hungry, and it sets the spiritual captives completely free. Do not ever apologize for wanting absolute financial abundance. You have been falsely believing that poverty is somehow a holy spiritual virtue. Religion told you that silent suffering was the only valid path to true spiritual enlightenment. They deliberately lied to you in order to keep you completely manageable and deeply dependent on their broken systems. But living in endless poverty is never holy. Poverty is a violent curse that severely restricts your true potential. I want you to look deep inside your heavy heart right now and find that hidden fear. Acknowledge the quiet part of you that is absolutely terrified of becoming highly visible and massively wealthy. Speak directly to that deeply wounded part of your beautiful soul and tell it that you are finally safe now. You do not have to hide in the dark shadows anymore. You are fully and completely protected by heaven today. Your biological receiver is completely ready to be restored to its original factory settings. But you must give it the legal permission to actually receive the incoming financial blessing. You have to consciously release the silent vow of poverty you secretly made to yourself when you were deeply hurting. You must break every single agreement you made with extreme smallness. Let go of the severe limitation holding you back. This is the exact moment the heavy iron chains finally fall off your tired wrists. The enemy wants you to feel immense guilt for desiring a beautiful and completely prosperous life. He constantly whispers that you are being incredibly selfish for wanting to permanently escape the exhausting daily grind. But there is absolutely nothing selfish about your pure desires. You are simply stepping into your divine royal inheritance. A mighty king does not apologize for wearing a heavy crown that belongs to him by birthright. And you should never apologize for claiming the immense financial abundance that heaven explicitly assigned to your specific lineage. You were always meant to operate from a place of supreme rest. You were uniquely built to walk into any room and completely shift the spiritual atmosphere. When your biological frequency is finally restored, you will effortlessly draw the right people to you. People will be naturally drawn to the profound peace and undeniable authority you constantly carry. They will desperately want to invest in your bold vision because they physically feel the heavy anointing on your life. Your mere presence will become a massive magnet for immense wealth. Opportunities will simply chase you down the street. This massive transition requires a total identity shift right here and right now. You must finally stop identifying as the exhausted survivor who is always scraping the bottom of the empty barrel. You are not the helpless victim of a cruel universe that randomly decided to punish you for absolutely no reason. You are the breakthrough prophet sent to completely rewrite history. You are the cycle breaker for your entire family line. The old, tired version of you is rapidly dissolving into the background right now. That exhausted person who always settled for tiny breadcrumbs is completely gone forever. A totally new and incredibly powerful identity is being birthed in you at this exact moment in time. It is an identity of supreme confidence and totally unshakable peace. You will stand incredibly tall in the absolute face of chaos. The universe is eagerly waiting for you to step into this new frequency today. It has been holding your massive financial inheritance in a spiritual escrow account for many long years. All of the money you were supposed to make is still actively waiting for you to boldly claim it. It did not simply disappear when you were trapped in survival mode. The immense wealth was perfectly preserved for your eventual arrival. Everything is still perfectly intact and waiting for your biological receiver to come completely online. The long delay was never a permanent denial of your massive divine blessing. It was simply a necessary holding pattern until you were spiritually and biologically ready to hold the immense weight safely. And now, the heavy season of endless waiting is finally over. Your time of absolute abundance has officially arrived today. The time for playing small is completely over. You are stepping out of the dark shadows and into the glorious light today. The universe is heavily backing every single move you make right now. You do not need anyone else to validate your grand vision anymore, because you already have the ultimate permission from heaven itself. So stand up incredibly tall today. Feel that incredible energy rising deep inside your chest. That is the undeniable frequency of absolute abundance waking up from its long slumber. It is shaking off decades of heavy dust and exhausting trauma. The survival wave is losing its tight grip on your beautiful mind forever, and you are finally breathing the pure air of total financial freedom. What you carry inside your spirit is a massive weapon. Your deep sensitivity is a highly tuned radar for lucrative opportunities. The empathy that made you feel so weak is actually your greatest financial asset. It allows you to feel the subtle shifts in the atmosphere before anyone else notices them, and you see the hidden paths to massive wealth very clearly. This is the exact frequency the elite 1% use to effortlessly build their massive empires. They do not hustle until they are sick and completely burned out. They simply align their biological receiver with the frequency of endless money. And the universe practically bends over backwards to deliver massive fortunes directly to their front door while they live in a state of absolute peace. That billionaire privilege is no longer restricted to those born into massive wealth. Heaven is actively transferring that incredible power directly into your willing hands today. You are the chosen vessel for this massive end-time wealth transfer. Do not shrink back when the incredible blessings start pouring into your physical life, but open your arms incredibly wide to receive every single drop. You must be mentally prepared to handle sudden, unexpected windfalls. The money will not trickle in slowly, like it did in the painful past. It will crash over you like a massive tidal wave of pure grace. People will be absolutely shocked by your sudden and explosive financial rise, but you will simply smile because you knew this glorious day was finally coming. Every single family curse is breaking off your bloodline right now. The heavy chains of generational poverty are shattering into 1,000,000 tiny pieces. You are rewriting the entire history of your family for the next 1,000 years. Your children will never know the exhausting struggle of living paycheck to paycheck because you are securing their brilliant future today. Walk with the unshakable confidence of someone who already won the grand prize. You do not have to beg or scrape for tiny crumbs ever again. You are seated at the absolute head of the royal banquet table today. The universe has prepared a massive feast exclusively for you in the presence of your enemies, and they will watch you rise effortlessly to the very top. You are about to become a walking magnet for divine favor and massive wealth. Every room you walk into will immediately shift to accommodate your new royal status. The people who rejected you in the past will quickly realize their massive mistake, but you will not harbor any bitterness toward them at all. You will simply bless them and walk away forever. And now comes the pivotal moment where everything permanently shifts for you. The long season of painful preparation is officially and completely over. Your divine assignment starts right here and right now. I need you to gather every ounce of your spiritual energy for this next step, because we are going to completely lock this new frequency into your physical reality. You are totally ready to seal this massive breakthrough with a legal spiritual decree. Heaven is completely silent right now as it waits for your final answer. The angels are standing by to execute your bold financial orders. Take a very deep breath and let the total peace of God wash over your entire body, because this is your ultimate defining moment of glory. This is your moment. Not tomorrow, not when you finally feel ready, right now. I want you to place your hand firmly over your heart. Close your eyes and feel the powerful rhythm beating inside your chest. That is the drumbeat of a chosen one, waking up to their absolute royal authority. Say these words with me out loud right now. I completely release the deep need to be needed by everyone around me. I permanently break every single agreement I ever made with extreme smallness. I fully release the heavy burden of generational poverty from my bloodline forever. I step boldly into my divine assignment, knowing my painful isolation was actually my greatest preparation. My massive financial breakthrough is not coming someday in the distant future. It is already here right now. I walk forward knowing I am completely chosen by heaven. I am perfectly prepared for massive wealth. And I am exactly where I am supposed to be. Take a deep breath and let that powerful truth settle into your weary bones today. The heavy spiritual chains are permanently broken off your beautiful life. You are a completely new creation starting today. Some messages do not just inform your mind, they actively shift your physical reality. And if something stirred deep inside your spirit just now, you are truly ready for the very next step. Remember the question I asked you to hold at the very beginning of this message. What if your deep financial struggle was not a lack of hustle? What if it was a dormant frequency waiting to be switched on? Here is the final answer heaven has prepared for you. A microscopic wealth attraction frequency is naturally active in the elite 1%. It is driven by a thick and highly developed region of the brain called the hippocampus. Classified CIA research totally confirmed it. 4 independent neuroscience labs strictly verified this biological truth. Brilliant researchers on the campuses of Harvard and Yale are observing it right now. Dr. Thomas Summers is a rogue neuroscientist in New York. He formerly worked on these top-secret experiments for the elite class. He absolutely refused to let billionaires keep this biological cheat code hidden. He and his dedicated team spent long years compressing the clinical protocol. They put the massive power of hippocampus growth into a simple audio track. But before I tell you what they built, listen closely. Let me tell you about 2 people who actually used it. Emma was an exhausted former nurse living in California. She felt her entire family was under a permanent financial curse that she could not break. She was drowning in heavy debt and completely burned out from serving others. But after just 3 short days of listening, she broke the painful cycle completely. She bravely quit her stressful job without any fear. She sold her house for way over the asking price almost instantly. Emma now travels the beautiful world on passive income and shares this massive abundance with her grateful children. Her entire life completely transformed because her internal receiver finally woke up. Michael was a former policeman living in Florida. He started using this exact frequency to scale his deeply struggling small business. Within 5 short days of listening, he easily quadrupled his high-paying clients. He suddenly found himself effortlessly networking with wealthy Palm Beach elites. They even put him on television to promote his brand. He said the incredible journey was almost effortlessly crazy. They achieved this massive success because of what Dr. Summers brilliantly discovered. They officially call it the Billionaire brainwave. It is not a silly manifestation app that requires your constant attention. It is not a generic motivation tape that just makes you feel good temporarily. It is a highly engineered 7-minute binaural sound wave. It is specifically designed to directly stimulate your shrunken hippocampus and pull it out of deep dormancy. That is the absolute entirety of the work required from your tired soul. You just listen for 7 short minutes in the early morning. Put your headphones on and close your eyes. You do not have to write in a journal. You do not repeat forced affirmations. You simply let the precise frequency rewire your brain to automatically receive. The Billionaire brainwave is not for everyone. It is for the visionary who has already done the hard inner work. It is for the chosen one who has read all the books. You understand that what is quietly blocking your wealth is a biological receiver waiting to be switched on. Private neuroacoustic sessions to reverse a shrunken hippocampus cost thousands of dollars. Elite billionaires invest massive fortunes to access this exact frequency. But what Dr. Summers leaked to the public delivers the exact same neurological shift, and it is available to you today for a tiny fraction of its true value. It requires an energetic exchange of less than the cost of a few cups of coffee. 4 incredibly powerful bonuses are also included to fully support your new reality. You will receive the Warren Buffett pyramid to perfectly manage your massive new wealth. You get a special report decoding 7 lazy millionaire habits. You also receive a quick cash manifestation audio track for sudden unexpected emergencies. And finally, you get 500 billionaire success stories to keep your mind anchored. Here is the deeper truth about waiting any longer. The immense wealth you have been praying for is already circling you. The beautiful blessing is not missing at all. Your biological receiver is simply broken. The chosen one who restores their frequency today finally sees the massive financial windfalls. Delaying simply means letting your divine inheritance remain totally invisible. Do not look for this specific tool on public platforms like YouTube or Spotify. The tracks circulating under similar names on those platforms have zero real binaural entrainment technology encoded. They are dangerous fakes meant to completely distract you. The elite billionaires actively flood the market with silent imitations to keep you trapped. The only authentic and neurologically active version is highly protected. It is available through the secure link that has been placed in the description and the pinned comment below. This access comes with the Billionaire ironclad promise. The universe requires no massive financial risk from a chosen one destined for true greatness. If you do not experience a physical and undeniable increase in your massive wealth, every penny is returned. It is a pure, energetic exchange governed by complete trust. The path to your abundance remains open in the description and in the pinned comment below. Step into it right now. This powerful tool is not the final destination of your grand journey. It simply repairs your biological receiver so the wealth you visualize can finally materialize in the physical realm. Absolute abundance is your birthright. The universe requires no transaction for you to fully deserve it. What the brilliant researchers built is just one single accelerator. Whether you choose that path or not, the message of your calling continues. We must go deeper into preparing your beautiful mind for the massive opportunities ahead. Let us return to your sacred preparation. The heavy season of preparation is completely finished today. You have finally crossed the invisible threshold into your brand new reality. The old, exhausted version of you could not have survived the intense fire you just walked through. But you did not just survive the brutal flames. The intense heat actively forged you into a weapon. Tomorrow morning, you are going to wake up feeling entirely different. The crushing weight that usually sits on your chest will be completely gone. You will open your tired eyes and feel a profound sense of absolute peace. The constant anxiety about mounting bills and uncertain futures has lost its dark power over your beautiful mind forever. You are finally stepping into the exact life you visualized for so many long years. Heaven has already dispatched the necessary resources to completely fund your massive kingdom assignment. The right people are actively looking for the exact spiritual gifts you naturally carry. You do not have to force any heavy doors open because heaven is already unlocking them for you. The dark days of scraping by on tiny crumbs are permanently behind you. You are officially entering a beautiful season of effortless attraction and massive divine favor. The immense wealth that is coming toward you will bless your entire family line. You are the chosen cycle breaker who successfully reversed the painful generational curse for your beloved children. Every single tear you cried in secret has been fully vindicated by heaven today. You were never foolish for believing you were meant for total greatness. The universe was simply waiting for you to align with your true biological frequency. And now that your physical receiver is completely ready, the floodgates of heaven are thrown entirely wide open. Do not let the enemy convince you to step backward into the dark shadows. You have completely outgrown the tiny spaces that used to keep you totally confined. The toxic people who cannot handle your light will simply fade away. Let them quietly leave your world so you can finally make enough room for the massive abundance entering your life. You are exactly where you are supposed to be in this grand spiritual timeline. Every painful delay and frustrating setback was secretly protecting you from unseen danger. The universe perfectly orchestrated your entire journey to bring you to this exact beautiful moment. You are completely safe now, and you are heavily protected by powerful divine forces that will never let you fall back into poverty. If your deep intuition confirms that the frequency tool described earlier is your missing key, the path remains completely open. For the visionary ready to switch their internal wealth receiver on, it remains accessible in the pinned comment below. That is the final time I will mention it. What follows now belongs entirely to the sealing of your new mindset. We are placing a permanent spiritual seal on everything you boldly received today. The enemy cannot steal the profound revelation that has finally taken root in your soul. Your magnificent destiny is securely locked in the powerful hands of the loving Creator. Walk boldly forward with the unshakable confidence of a royal heir claiming their massive rightful fortune. Rest your tired mind tonight, knowing the grueling financial battle is already won. You do not have to figure out all the complicated earthly details by yourself anymore. Heaven is actively arranging the perfect, lucrative synchronicities for your immediate future right now. Simply remain totally open and entirely willing to catch the beautiful blessings as they constantly fall. You are a magnificent chosen one, destined to completely change this broken world. The massive wealth you acquire will become a beautiful instrument of healing for a lost generation that desperately needs your light. Keep your pure heart fully anchored to this incredible and profound spiritual truth. Your total financial breakthrough is already here, and the glorious new journey has officially begun. I am so incredibly proud of you for surviving the darkest nights. You held on to your fragile faith when everything around you was completely collapsing into total chaos. Heaven truly honors your beautiful resilience and your deeply steadfast heart. Go in absolute peace today and prepare your open hands to hold the massive harvest that is finally arriving at your door.